Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're embarking on a pretty amazing quest. We're going to unlock a powerful state credential that literally makes you the first line of defense against fraud in your community. Becoming a notary public isn't just about, owning a cool stamp. It's about stepping into a serious role of trust, safeguarding vital legal and business transactions, and adding a highly respected credential to your professional tool belt. If you've ever wondered how to wield that kind of authority right here in the Land of Enchantment, well, you're in the exact right place. So here's a wild fact. Did you know that New Mexico completely overhauled its notary laws back in 2022? They rolled out the Revised Uniform Law on Notarial Acts, or RULONA, and basically threw out the old playbook. Today, the whole process is digital. We're talking mandatory exams and a strict requirement for a $10,000 surety bond. Honestly, it can feel a little like a daunting bureaucratic maze at first glance. But don't worry, I promise you, by the end of this explainer, you're going to have the ultimate up-to-date blueprint to confidently navigate this new digital-only process from start to finish. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the role and your qualifications. Then, we'll walk through the step-by-step application process, how to secure your official gear, expanding into remote notarization and growth, and finally, we'll wrap up with compliance and a quick legal disclaimer. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the role and your qualifications. Let's talk about who actually gets to wield the stamp. Basically, a notary public is an impartial witness. You're there to protect the public from fraud in some pretty major life moments. Whether a family's closing on their first home, finalizing a living will, or authenticating a massive business contract, society literally relies on notaries to verify identities and make sure everyone is acting on their own free will. It's a big deal. So before you take on this responsibility, let's run through a quick basic eligibility checklist. Are you at least 18? Are you a resident of New Mexico or do you work in the state? You've got to be able to read and write English, have a clean record with no felonies or fraud-related crimes in the last 5 years, and you definitely can't have had a notary commission revoked in another state. If you check all those boxes, you are good to go. Moving on to Section 2, the step-by-step application process. It's time to navigate that digital portal. So, since October 2023, the New Mexico Secretary of State strictly requires all applications to go through their online enterprise portal. Paper applications, totally a thing of the past. To make this super easy, we've broken the whole thing down into 4 non-negotiable steps. First up, you complete an approved training course and pass an exam. Second, you buy a $10,000 surety bond. Third, you sign and notarize an oath of office. And finally, you bundle it all together and submit it through the portal with a $30 fee. Let's take a closer look at exactly how to tackle these. Now, what's really interesting about this is the testing standard. To pass the mandatory exam, you have to hit a minimum score of 80%. The test is usually 60 minutes long, 50 questions, and it's provided by approved vendors like the National Notary Association. A quick pro tip for you, definitely use the vendors' practice tests and study guides. They build your confidence so much. During the real exam, try to pace yourself to just over a minute per question. The state just wants to be absolutely sure you understand your legal duties before you ever touch that official stamp. Once you ace that exam, you've got to secure a $10,000 surety bond. Now don't panic at that number. The bond itself usually only costs a one-time premium of about $40 to $50 from a reputable bonding company. But here is an absolutely crucial distinction. This bond is not insurance for you. It's a financial safety net mandated by the state to protect the public. If you accidentally make a negligent mistake that ends up costing a citizen money, this bond steps in to cover their damages. Okay, warning sign ahead. This is a major pitfall where so many applicants stumble. Once you have your bond and your oath of office printed out, you have to sign them as the principal applicant. But, as this direct quote from the state guidelines warns, the applicant should never notarize their own signature. Seriously, don't even try to shortcut this. You have to take these documents to a current, active New Mexico notary and have them witness and notarize your signature. It's a strict rule, so keep it in mind. All right, so with your course certificate, your notarized bond, and your notarized oath all in hand, you're ready to log into the state's enterprise portal. The system is incredibly strict here. All of your documents have to be scanned and uploaded in pristine PDF format. No messy cell phone photos allowed. You'll pay a $30 non-refundable filing fee online with an e-check or credit card. After you hit submit, the New Mexico Secretary of State usually takes anywhere from 2 to 10 weeks to process everything and issue your commission certificate. Which brings us to Section 3, securing your official gear. Stamps, seals, and records. you're approved, which is awesome. But the bureaucratic trials aren't quite over just yet. So the crucial point is that once your commission is approved, the clock immediately starts ticking. You have exactly 45 days to purchase your physical stamp, create an imprint of it, and register a PDF of that stamp image with the Secretary of State online. If you drag your feet and miss this 45-day deadline, the Secretary of State is legally required to refer you to the State Ethics Commission. Seriously, do not delay ordering your stamp. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what you're aiming for. Following that 2023 legislative update, the rules for your stamp are super specific. It has to use permanent, photographically reproducible ink. It must contain your exact legal name just as it's commissioned, your commission number, the expiration date, and the words State of New Mexico and Notary Public all in 10-point font. And perhaps most importantly, it absolutely must feature the Great Seal of the State of New Mexico right there on the stamp. Right alongside that stamp, you also have to maintain a journal. New Mexico law requires you to keep a record of every single notarial act you perform. This can be a classic permanent-bound paper book or a tamper-evident electronic journal if you prefer to go digital. But for every single act, you have to log the date, the time, the type of act, the signer's info, how you identified them, and the fee you charged. Oh, and you have to keep this journal safe for 10 years after the very last entry is made. It's all about ensuring a lasting, verifiable record of your ethical practice. Now let's talk about leveling up. Section 4, Remote Notarization and Growth. This is all about expanding your marketability. When you compare traditional notary work to becoming a remote online notary, or RON, the financial and logistical benefits really start to pop. For an extra $75 application fee and a second quick training course, you can completely upgrade your commission. See, traditional notaries are legally capped at charging just $5 per act for in-person signers. But as a RON, you can charge that $5, plus up to a $25 technology fee per act. And honestly, the best part is the flexibility. While you, the notary, must remain physically inside New Mexico, your signer can literally be anywhere in the world, connecting with you over a secure audio-video platform. Talk about a game changer. If you want to turn this into a real side hustle or boost your resume, consider becoming a notary signing agent. This is a specialized role that lets you handle complex real estate loan closings, which can actually be pretty lucrative. You can network through organizations like the National Notary Association to find these kinds of gigs. And I've got to share a massive pro tip if you go this route. Invest in optional errors and omissions, or E&O insurance. Remember how we said your surety bond protects the public? Well, E&O insurance protects you financially if you're ever sued for a simple, unintentional mistake. It's totally worth the peace of mind. All right, bringing it into the home stretch with Section 5, Compliance and Legal Disclaimer. Let's make sure you protect the public and yourself. Let's move to these final pro tips and see how this builds a foundation for a bulletproof practice. First, never charge more than that maximum $5 for a traditional notarial act. Next, if your stamp is ever lost or stolen, don't wait around. You have exactly 30 days to report it to the Secretary of State. Also, when you're identifying someone remotely, you can't just rely on the fact that you know them. You have to use real-time audio-video communication and strict identity proving. And above all else, always watch your signer for any signs of coercion, fear, or duress. You absolutely have the right, and honestly the duty, to refuse a notarization if you suspect the person isn't acting willingly. Now, for a quick, important professional disclaimer, state laws, filing portals, and fees are always subject to legislative tweaks and changes. The information in this explainer is current as of August 2026. But you know how it goes, you should always consult the New Mexico Secretary of State's official website or a qualified legal advisor just to guarantee you're operating under the absolute most current regulations. So there you have it. You now hold the complete step-by-step blueprint. From understanding that rigorous 2022 digital overhaul to passing your exam, securing that bond, registering your very own official stamp, and even expanding into the digital frontier of remote online notarization, the path is totally clear. So here's my question for you. Are you ready to step up, become that vital line of defense against fraud, and really make your mark as a New Mexico notary? Your journey starts today.